Good afternoon, salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia prihatin, and salam terus menjulangi pendidikan Negeri Sarawak to yang berusaha, Puan Kasia binti Jafar Ali, Pegawai Pendidikan Daerah Subis, as the Chair Lady for Jawatan Kuasa Webinar Kecemerlangan SPM, JPN Sarawak for Additional Mathematics 2021. Yang berusaha, Encik Helmi bin Saini, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan, Unit Sains dan Matematik, Sektor Pembelajaran. Yang berusaha, Puan Evelyn Medong, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan, Unit Sains dan Matematik, Sektor Pembelajaran. Yang berusaha, Cikgu Tang Bet Ti, Penceramah Jemputan Webinar Kecemerlangan SPM, JPN Sarawak 2021. All officers from Sarawak State Education Department, officers from Subis District Education Office, teachers, parents, and students. Before we begin the webinar Kecemerlangan SIJIL Pelajaran Malaysia, let us invite Ustaz Amir Mustaqim bin Ibrahim from the Islamic Education Unit, PPD Subis, to lead the prayers this afternoon. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Wa qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah ya Rahman ya Rahim, sempena dengan sesi webinar kecemerlangan SPM bagi tahun 2021, kami mohon inayah dan taufik-Mu. Kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan serta kesihatan jasmani dan rohani. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada kami untuk menerima ilmu dan pengetahuan serta bimbingan para guru-guru kami yang kami kasihi. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, kami memohon dengan kudrat dan iradat-Mu, berikanlah kekuatan dan ketabahan menghadapi perjuangan kami menimba dan mencari ilmu pengetahuan. Anugerahkanlah kejayaan dan kecemerlangan kepada kami dalam semua ujian dan pencapaian. Ya Allah, Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, tambahkanlah kepada kami kecintaan kepada segala kebaikan. Jadikanlah kami, guru-guru kami, pemimpin-pemimpin kami, terus beristiqamah, berkhidmat menabur bakti, membangun umat masyarakat, bangsa, agama dan negara. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala mursalin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin ya rabbal alamin.
Thank you, Ustaz. Welcome to webinar Kecemerlangan SIJIL Pelajaran Malaysia, SPM, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak tahun 2021. The topic of this webinar is Bengkel Pembugaran Kecemerlangan Matematik Tambahan SPM 2021 slot Bahasa Inggeris. I am Cikgu Stephanie Crystal Ng from SMK Suai. I will be responsible for moderating this presentation today. We would like to give our appreciation to all those who are watching this webinar today, especially students who are attending this program. Your participation is very much appreciated. Sarawak State Education Department with Subis District Education Office have specially prepared this session for all the SPM Additional Mathematics teachers and students. We hope by the end of the program, you will gain new knowledge to better yourself for your upcoming SPM examination for Additional Mathematics paper. For this session, we are very proud and delighted to have Cikgu Tang Bet Ti from SMK Deshon Cebu to conduct the session. Our speaker, Cikgu Tang Bet Ti, was born in Cebu, Sarawak. She is a graduate from University Science Malaysia, year 2002, in Bachelor of Science in Education, majoring in chemistry and minoring in mathematics. She has taught chemistry and mathematics for 9 years each, and Additional Mathematics for 18 years. She is a Guru Cemerlang DG44 in 2010 and Guru Cemerlang DG48 since 2016 to date. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes. The presentation session will be about 1 hour 30 minutes, followed by the question and answer session for about 30 minutes. If you have any questions for the presenter, please write it down and post it when the live chat function opens. The live chat function will be open 10 minutes before the question and answer session. Attendance for teachers and students will be taken at the end of the session. Without further ado, please welcome Cikgu Tang Bet Ti.
Thanks, Cikgu Stephanie, as the moderator this afternoon. So I would like to express my gratitude to JPN Sarawak for giving me a golden opportunity to share in webinar Kecemerlangan SPM for the subject Additional Maths, and also my sincere gratitude to PBD Subis for the assistance in technical matters. Hope my sharing this afternoon is useful and also helpful for any one of you, especially the SPM candidates. I start with format baharu SPM 2021. Kertas 1 consists of 3 sessions. Session A, 12 questions which contribute 64 marks. Session B, 3 questions, choose 2 to answer, which contribute 16 marks. That means 1 question is 8 marks. Total is 80 and the duration is 2 hours. Format Kertas 2, we have 3 sessions. Session A, 7 questions which contribute 50 marks. Session B, 4 questions, choose 3 to answer. And Session C, 4 questions, choose 2 to answer. Total is 100 marks and the duration is 2 hours 30 minutes. So these are the contoh item in bahagian A, kertas 1. Contoh item bahagian B, kertas 1. Contoh item bahagian A, kertas 2. Contoh item bahagian B, kertas 2. Dan contoh item bahagian C. Because of the time constraint, so I am only able to choose a few topics to discuss. So the first topic is a trigonometric function. So I will focus on the part sketching graph of sine, cosine, and tangent graph. First, we look at sine graph. So this is the shape of sine graph. So this is one cycle, and the period is 360 degree or 2 pi. Then the maximum is 1, minimum is -1. Then we look at the cosine graph. It's almost like U shape, maximum 1, minimum -1. But for cosine graph, there is a slightly bend at the beginning and also at the end. If you just you just sketch the graph like U shape, actually this is wrong. So make sure you bend the curve at the beginning and also at the end. So this is a one cycle. and the period is 360 degree or 2 pi. Then next we look at the tangent graph. To sketch tangent graph, actually you can divide the x-axis into 4 equal parts. Then you draw a dotted straight line that passing through the first part and also the third part. So this is the shape of tangent. Okay, from 0 to 180. So this is a 1 cycle. That means the period is a 180 or pi. So from 0 to 360 degree, actually we have a 2 cycle, which means the shape of tangent graph will repeat 2 times within the range 0 to 360 degree. And then when you sketch the tangent graph, actually the 2 dotted lines are called the asymptote. Then the curve will never touch the asymptote. This is tangent graph. So before we learn how to sketch the sine, cosine, and tangent graph, so now we look at the equation for sine, tangent, and cosine graph. So A represents the amplitude, which is a maximum and minimum value of the graph. And then B represents the number of cycles. For example, let's say we have a sine 2x, which means the number of cycles is 2. That means the shape of sine graph will repeat 2 times. Or if we have a cos 3x, so the shape of cosine graph will repeat 2 times. Except for tangent, because just now I show you the diagram for tangent x. So within the given range 0 to 360 degree, actually we have a 2 cycle. So if the equation is a tangent 2x, that means we have 4 cycles. Because tangent x is 2 cycles, so tangent 2x should be 4 cycles. Last C is a vertical translation. That means the whole graph will shift out or shift down. So now I show you some example for sine, cosine, and tangent graph. Example 1, we have y equals to cos 2x, and then the range of x is from 0 to 180 degree. So 2x, that means the number of cycle is 2. So the shape of cosine graph will repeat 2 times within the range 0 and 360 degree. But normally what the student do is they sketch the y and the x-axis, then they repeat the shape of cosine graph 2 times, but the label the x-axis from 0 until 180 degree, which is given by the question. Actually, this is wrong because for y equals to cos 2x, actually the number of cycle is 2 within the range 0 to 360 degree, but not 180 degree. So if the student label the x-axis from 0 until 180, so this is wrong. So how to sketch the correct graph for y equals to cos 2x within the range given, which is 0 to 360 degree. So normally what I ask my student to do is I will ask them to cancel out to ignore the range given first. Ignore the range given. Okay, then look at the equation here. This is y equals to cos 2x, which means the number of cycle is 2. So the shape of a tangent graph, a cosine graph, will repeat 2 times. Once they finish, they have to label the x-axis from 0 to 360 degree. Then maximum is 1, minimum is -1, and then the middle is 180. So once they finish, they look at the range given. is 0 to 180. That means they have to ignore the part after 180. So this is the correct graph for y equals to cos 2x with the given range, which is 0 to 180 degree. But please take note, when you sketch the cosine graph, make sure this is the graph slightly bent at the beginning and also at the end. If not, the graph is wrong. So example 2, sketch the graph of y equals to negative 3 sine 3 over 2x, and then the range of s is from 0 to 2 pi. So 3 over 2 means 1.5. So the sine graph will repeat 1.5 times, okay, and the maximum is 3 and the minimum is negative 3. So this is a sine graph with maximum 3, minimum negative 3. Okay, so 3 over 2 means 1.5. 1.5, that means the curve will repeat 1.5 times. So this is one cycle. So another half cycle. Once you finish, you label from 0 to 2 pi. But read the question carefully. Since we have a negative, that means we do the refraction. So the shape to be like this. Maximum 3, minimum negative 3. Then you label the x-axis from 0 to 360 degree. And then the middle is 180. Once you finish, then only you look at the range given. Okay, then the range given is from 0 to 2 pi. That means this is correct. So actually you can label the x-axis 180, 360, or in terms of pi. Pi or 2 pi. Both are accepted. Then we look at another example. Sketch the graph of y equals to 1 plus tangent 2x, and then the range of s is from 0 to pi. So tangent 2x. So just now I told you, if you were asked to sketch tangent x, we have 2 cycles. If 2x, that means 4 cycles. So what you need to do is, you need to divide the x-axis into 8 equal parts. Because the tangent x, you divide the x-axis into 4 equal parts. So if 2x, 8 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means we have 4 cycles. So this is 1. So make sure the curve does not touch the asymptote. The dotted line are called asymptotes. So this is 1 cycle, 2, 3, and then 4. Once you finish, you label the x-axis from 0 to 2 pi or 360 degree. And then the middle is pi. So tangent graph has no maximum or minimum value. But the curve is just as near as possible to the asymptote. So once you finish, then you look at the range given. Actually, the range given is 0 to pi. That means that you have to ignore the part after pi. So this is the correct graph for y equals to tangent 2x. But not finished yet, because we have a vertical translation of positive 1, which means the curve will move 1 unit outward. So how to move the curve 1 unit outward? So you try to mark at the x-axis here. Okay, then you try to move the curve 1 unit outward. Okay, so you try to you can draw a dotted line that passing through y equals to 1, because the curve will move 1 unit outward. So move 1 unit outward. So you label at y equals to 1. Okay. Then you try to sketch the graph of tangent. Okay, so this is how the graph y equals to tangent 2x looks like with the given range, which is from 0 to pi. And then one more example, we look at example number 4. So sketch the graph of y equals to modulus tangent 2x. And then the range of s is from 0 to 2 pi. So tangent 2s, so 4 cycles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you label the x-axis from 0 to 2 pi or 360. And then the middle is pi. But since we have a modulus, that means we have to reflect the negative part. Reflect the negative part. Actually, so the curve are like this. Oh, so this is a y equals to modulus tangent to s with the given range. So next, I choose from the topic linear law. But before we learn how to solve the problems involving linear law, first we should know what is called the line of best fit. So line of best fit is actually a straight line. So all the plotted points should lie as close or as near as possible to the line of best fit. And then the line should pass through as many points as possible. At least 3 points. So normally you need to plot 6 points. So because the line of best fit will not pass through all the plotted point, but make sure the line pass through at least 3 points. And then see the number of points above and below the line should be about the same or about the same distance from the line. So normally the difference between the line above and below the line is 1. So what do we mean by the difference between the points above and below the line is 1? I give you an example. So when you draw the line of best fit, because normally we will plot 6 points, and then the line of best fit will not pass through all the plotted point. So let's say the line of best fit pass through only 3 points. That means we have 3 points lies on the line of best fit. So another 3 points are not on the line of best fit. So make sure we have 2 above and 1 below. So the difference is 1. Or if the line of best fit pass through 3 points, okay, that means another 3 points, okay, not lies on the line of best fit. So it can be 1 point above and then 2 points below. So the difference is 1. You cannot sketch the line of best fit where all the plotted point that is not lies on the line of best fit, which is all above the line of best fit. Actually, this is wrong. The difference for the point that above and below should be about the same. And then normally the difference between the point above and below is 1. So when draw the line of best fit, so make sure the straight line pass through the y-axis in order to find the y-intercept. That means when you draw the line of best fit, you need to extend the line. You need to extend the line of best fit until the line of best fit touch or cluster y-intercept. So you will be able to read the y-intercept from the diagram. For those students who are not able to master this topic, which is a linear law, so what you can do is you try to prepare a table, then you try to collect as many questions as possible from this topic, and then you see what is the graph that you need to plot. For example, the non-linear equation is y over x equals to ax plus b over x. Then you will ask to plot the graph of y against x squared. So you just copy down all the information. Then you draw the table like this, okay? So then you need to learn how to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form. Then you need to identify the variable x and y, and then the constant, gradient, and y-intercept. So I give you an example. Let's say the equation is y over x equals to ax plus b over x. Then you need to plot the graph of y against x squared. So actually, the y here is y, capital letter y, and then the x squared here is capital letter x. Then you need to identify the gradient and y-intercept. So how to identify the gradient and also y-intercept? So first you need to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form. So how to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form? Actually, you can get the answer, you can get the tips from the, normally this one is from section B, where you need to plot the graph. So let's say if you are asked to plot the graph of y against x squared, okay, that means that you have to change or reduce y over x into y. So how to do this? So we have y over x equals to ax plus b over x. So since you were asked to plot the graph of y against x squared, so that means that you need to change or reduce y over x into x. So what you need to do is multiply all the terms by x. Multiply all the terms by x. So we have y equals to ax squared plus b. So this is y and this is x. So you compare with the form of linear equation. So you will get the answer. Gradient is a, and then the y-intercept is b. I show you some more example. Let's say I choose a question number. I choose question number 7. Okay, we have a mu over x plus lambda over y equals to 1. Then you need to plot the graph of y 1 over y against 1 over x. Okay, that means step 1, you need to you need to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form. But how to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form? So first, you try to identify the y first. So y is 1 over y, and then the x is 1 over x. So rearrange the terms here. So we have a lambda over y, which is equals to negative mu over x plus 1. Then you try to reduce lambda over y, okay, to 1 over y. So how to do this? You need to divide all the terms by lambda. Divide all the terms by lambda. So we have 1 over y, which is equals to negative mu over lambda x plus 1 over lambda, because we divide all the terms by lambda. So this is y, and this is x. So the gradient is negative mu over lambda, and then the c is 1 over lambda. So how about the next question? So we have 1 over y equals to square root x plus s over r. So where you need to plot the graph of 1 over y square against x. So first you need to identify the y, which is 1 over y square, and then the x is x. So next, how to change 1 over y into 1 over y square? Actually, we take square on both sides. So 1 over y square, so you will get the answer 1 over y square. And then for the terms on the right, we have x plus s over r. Because we take square on both sides, so separate the terms, we have x over r plus s over r. Okay, so this is y, and this is x. So the gradient is 1 over r, and then the y-intercept is s over r. Okay, I show you last example with logarithms. Okay, so look at this question. Y equals to ax to the power of b. So where you need to plot the graph of log y against log x. So that means that you have to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form. That means that you have to change the y here to log y. But before we reduce the non-linear equation to linear form, so first you have to identify the y, which is a log y, and then the s is log x. So how to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form? So first we have to take log on both sides. So you will get the answer log y equals to log ax to the power of b. So by using the law of logarithms, actually you can separate the terms log as to the power of b. So it can be written as log a, then plus log x to the power of b. Then you bring a b in front of log, then you will get the answer log a plus b log x. So this is y, and this is x. So the gradient is b, and then the y-intercept is log a. We do the same for the rest of the question, but I can show you one more example. Let's say we have let's say we look at question 23, where you need to plot the graph of log y against s plus 2. So the equation is given by y equals to ab to the power of s plus 2. So you need to reduce the equation to linear form. So y you change to log y. So we take log on both sides. So we have a log y equals to log a b to the power of s plus 2. Then separate the terms. We have a log y equals to log a plus log b to the power of s plus 2. Then you bring s plus 2 in front of log b. So you have a log a plus s plus 2. But please use bracket to write s plus 2. Then followed by log b. Okay, so log y is y. And then s plus 2 is x. So that means log B is gradient. And then the y-intercept is log A. So you try to collect as many questions as possible. Then you draw a proper table to reduce the nonlinear equation to linear form. And then you try to identify the variable S and Y and also the constant M and C. Then you can ask your friend to check or even your subject teacher to help to check. Make sure you are able to reduce the nonlinear equation to linear form correctly. Okay, then identify the variable S and Y, then also the gradient and also the y-intercept. If you can do this, okay, all correctly, then you can then you can learn how to plot the correct graph for line. You can then you learn how to draw the line of best fit by using the scale given. Okay, then only you interpret the information from the line of best fit. Okay, so we just continue. So now I choose one of the question in year 2019. So look at this question. We have the equation is given by y equals to a over b root x. Then question A, you need to construct a table for the value of log x and log y. And then B, you need to plot the graph of log y against log x by using the scale given. And then you need to draw the line of best fit. And then C, use the graph, then you need to find the value of A and B. So now we look at part A, where you need to construct a table for the value of log x and log y. Okay, so let's say these are the answers from the calculator. To give the answer correct to 2 or 3 decimal places, normally 2 should be enough. Okay, so what students do is they just ignore the figure after the 2 decimal places. So the answer is negative 0.46. Okay, they just ignore the figure after 2 decimal places, negative 0.36 and so on. Actually, this is wrong because when you give the answer correct to 2 or 3 decimal places, actually we still have to do round off. For example, the first value of log s is negative 0.468521,083. So this is 8, which is greater or equal or greater than 5. That means when we do round off, actually the correct answer should be negative 0.47. So one more example. Let's say we have a negative 0.366531,544. So this is a 6, which is greater or equals to 5. So when we do round off, then the correct answer is a negative 0.37, which is not 0.36. So this is wrong. So please do round off. Okay, then you can give the answer correct to at least 2 or 3 decimal places. So next, B, you need to sketch the graph of log y against log x by using the scale given. Then you need to draw the line of best fit. So this is an example for the graph of log y against log x. Actually, a student can draw the table inside the graph paper, and then they can show all the workings to part C inside the graph paper also. No marks will be deducted. So C, you need to find the value of A and B. So how to find the value of A and B? So you sketch the graph according to the scale given, then you try to draw a line of best fit. So to find the value of A and B, so step 1, you need to reduce the non-linear equation here to linear form. how to reduce the equation to linear form, you can get the tips from part B, where you need to plot the graph of log y against log x, which means you have to change the y here into log y. So now I show you how to reduce the nonlinear equation to linear form. So first we take log on both sides. So we have a log y equals to log, then a over b root of x. So by using the law of logarithms, so division you change to minus. So we have a log a minus log b root x. So b root x can be written as a 1 over b. Then you bring 1 over b in front of log. Then the answer is a negative 1 over b log x. So from part B, actually you were asked to plot the graph of log y against log x. That means the log y is capital letter Y, and then the log x here is capital letter X. So you compare with the equation in linear form, which is a y equals to ms plus c. So the gradient is negative 1 over b, and then the y-intercept is log a. So how to find the value of a and b? So you need to find the gradient and also identify the y-intercept from the graph. That's why just now I told you, you should extend the graph until the straight line can cut or touch the y-intercept, touch the y-axis. So you read from the graph, the y-intercept is negative 0.48. So by using comparison method, log a equals to c, which is equals to 0.48. Because the 0.48 is the y-intercept of this graph. So log a equals to 0.48. Because just now I show you how to identify the m and c. So log a is a y-intercept. So by using the comparison method, okay, so log a equals to c, which is a 0.48. So solve the equation, then you get the answer a equals to 3.02. Then next, you need to find the gradient. You choose any 2 points from the graph. So normally, I try to identify the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0.48. So I will choose, okay, this point as one of the coordinate to find the y-intercept. So the coordinate is 0, then 0.48. Then you choose another point from the graph. So make sure when you choose the point to find the gradient, you should choose the point that exactly lies on the straight line. Because I noticed that when you want to find the gradient, you just simply choose any point from the graph. Like sometimes you will choose the point. Okay, you will choose this point. Okay, to find the gradient. You cannot choose this point. Do you know why? Because actually this point is not lies on the point is not lies on the line of best fit. So don't do like this. Choose any points that is exactly lies on the line of best fit. So for this question, I choose this point with the coordinate negative 0.2. Okay, negative 0.2, and then 0.98. This is a 0.98. Okay, so now we have 2 points. So you try to find the gradient. Okay, you get the answer negative 2.5. So gradient is a -1 over b. -1 over b. So -1 over b equals to gradient, which is equals to -2.5. So b equals to 1 over 2.5. Then you get the answer 0.4. So next, I also choose one of the question in year 2018. So a straight line graph will be obtained, that means the linear graph, okay, by plotting a y squared over x against a 1 over x. So section A, you need to construct a table for the values of 1 over s and y squared over x. B, plot the graph by using the scale given. Then you need to draw the line of best fit. C, based on the graph, then you need to find the value of y when s equals to 2.7. Then you need to express y in terms of x. So we look at part A, where you need to construct a table for the value of 1 over x and y squared over x. So when you draw the table and then you do the calculate the value of 1 over s and y squared over s. So make sure you correct the answer correct to 2 or 3 decimal places. But I noticed that some of the students, when they do the calculation, for example, s is given, then you need to find the values of 1 over x. So that means 1 divided by s. Let's say if the value of s is 2, so 1 over s means 1 divided by 2. Okay, this is 1 over x. Then 4, we have 1 over 4. 5, we have 1 over 5, and so on. Some students will give the answer in fractional form. So this is incorrect. So please give the answer correct to 2 or 3 decimal places, but not in fractional form. Okay, so please take note. Then we go to part B, where you need to you need to plot the graph of y squared over x against 1 over s by using the scale given. Then draw the line of best fit. So let's say this is the graph of y squared over s against 1 over s. So try to extend the graph until the graph will cut the y squared over x axis. So this is called the y-intercept, which is a -4. Okay, then we go to part C, where you need to find the value of y when s equals to 2.7. So look at the 1 over s axis here. So this is 1 over x. So first you need to calculate the value of 1 over s, which is 1 divided by 2.7. Then you get the answer 0.37. So you read from the graph 0.37. Then you try to draw a dotted vertical line until the line touch the line of best fit. Then you draw another dotted line, horizontal dotted line, until the horizontal dotted line touch the y squared over s axis. And then let's say if the figure is 5.2. Okay, so that means y squared over s is equals to 5.2. But I noticed that what students do is when they draw the dotted line and then they get the answer 5.2. So they will just write y equals to 5.2. Actually, this is wrong. Not y equals to 5.2. But actually it's y squared over s equals to 5.2. Because this, I know this is the y-axis, but this is capital letter Y, not Y, the small letter Y. Okay, so actually it should be y squared over 2.7 because s is 2.7 equals to 5.2. Okay, so solve the problems. We have y squared equals to 5.2 times 2.7. Okay, so y equals to 3.7. 747. So next, we go to C part 2, where you need to express y in terms of x. So always remember that to solve problems involving the linear law, you always need to find the gradient and also identify the y-intercept from the graph. For example, if the gradient for this question is 25 and then the y-intercept is -4. So how to express a y in terms of x? So the linear form for the linear equation is y equals to ms plus c. So when you find the gradient and then you identify the y-intercept, maybe you will just give the answer y equals to 25x minus 4. So this is incorrect because actually we plot the graph of y squared over x against 1 over s. That means actually you need to change the y here to y squared over x, and then you need to change the s here to 1 over x, then minus 4. So this is the correct one. So to cancel out the fraction, because you need to express y only in terms of x, so multiply all the terms by x. So we have y squared equals to 25 minus 4x. So this is y squared. To find y, so we take our square root. So the answer is y equals to 25 minus 4x to the power of 1 over 2. Next, I show you one more example. I choose the past year question in year 2017. So the equation is given by y minus square root h equals to hk over x. Then A, you need to plot sy against x by using the scale given. And then you need to draw the line of best fit. So did you notice that this question is quite different from the previous two questions? Because for the previous two questions, you were asked to construct a table. Then you need to calculate the value of log y, log x, and also y squared over s or 1 over s. But for question B, okay, even though you were not asked to construct the table to find the value of sy, but you still have to do so. You need to draw a table, then you need to calculate the value of xy. Okay, so this is step 1. Then you need to plot the graph by using the scale given. You need to plot sy against x. So let's say this is your graph. And then we go to part B, where you need to use the information, okay, from the graph. Then you need to find the value of h and k. And then B part 2, you need to find the value, correct value of y if one of the value of y has been wrongly recorded during the experiment. Okay, so B part 1, find the value of h and k. So first, you have to reduce the non-linear equation to linear form. So you need to plot the graph of sy against x. So step 1, you bring negative square root h to the right. Then you have to change the y here to xy. So we multiply all the terms by x. So the answer is sy equals to hk plus square root hx. So this is y and this is x. So the gradient is square root h and then the hk is y-intercept. So let's say if the gradient is 7.167 and then the y-intercept is -4. So we use the comparison method, then you will be able to, you compare the gradient and also the y-intercept with the equation in linear form. Okay, so square root h is equals to n, which can be written as a square root h equals to 7.167. So we take square on both sides. So you will get the answer h equals to 51.27. Then the y-intercept is -4. So hk equals to -4. So h is 51.27. So we have a 51.27k equals to -4. So k equals to -0.0780 because we divide 4 with 51.27. Okay. So next, C part 2. B part 2, you need to find the correct value of y if one of the value of y has been wrongly recorded. So how to identify which of the value of y has been wrongly recorded? So as what I said just now, when you draw the line of best fit, actually the plotted point should lie as close or as near as possible to the line of best fit. So if you notice a point that is quite far away from the line of best fit, actually that value has been wrongly recorded. Okay, so let's say we choose the point here is wrongly recorded because it is quite far away from the line of best fit. So you try to draw a dotted line, okay, until the dotted line touch the line of best fit. Then you draw a horizontal dotted line until you get the value, which is 21. So which means SY equals to 21. SY equals to 21, but not Y equals to 21. Okay, so SY equals to 21 when S equals to 3.5. So substitute S equals to 3.5 into the equation. We have a 3.5y equals to 21. So y equals to 21 divided by 3.5. Then you will get the answer y equals to 6. So next, I choose from the topic vector. So look at this diagram. Actually, we have a triangle P, Q, R. And vector PR is given by 2A. The direction is very important for vector. If this is a PR, that means we have to draw the arrow from P to R. So PR is given by 2A, and then PQ is 6B. So A, you need to find vector QR in terms of A and B. Find vector QR in terms of A and B. Actually, you can get the answer directly from the diagram. So QR is -6B because you change the direction, then plus 2A. Actually, this is the correct answer. But don't do like this. Don't just give the answer. You try to write vector QR as an addition of 2 or more vectors. What do we mean by write vector QR as an addition of 2 or more vectors? That means if you were asked to find vector QR, so QR is actually equals to QP plus PR. You need to write this, but not just the answer only. This is what I mean by you need to write vector QR as an addition of 2 or more vectors. You need to write this, must. Okay, then you give the answer -6B plus 2A. So in SPN, don't just give the answer negative 6b plus 2a. You need to show how to get the answer negative 6b plus 2a. So please write this. Okay, so next, I choose one of the question in year 2018, paper 2. So we have a vector OP, we have vector OQ, and then we have a vector OM. For this question, you need to express OM in the form of a HP plus KQ, which means you need to express vector OM in terms of P and Q. For those who are smart enough, actually you can get the answer directly from the diagram. Okay, so how to express vector OM in terms of P and Q? So this is P. Okay, this is P. Then we have a 1Q plus another 1Q. So the answer is vector OM equals to P plus 2Q. But if a student encounter a question which involve like half P, 3 over 2Q, and so on, actually you cannot get the answer directly from the diagram. So I will teach you a method where you can you can express vector OM in terms of P and Q. Okay, so how to do this? So we will use the concept of vectors in Cartesian plane. So you need to express all the three vectors, which is OP, OQ, and OM in terms of I and J. So how to do this? Okay, so first we start with vector OP. You try to express the vector in terms of I and J. So OP is I plus 2J. And then how about vector OQ? Vector OQ. So vector OQ, we have negative 2I plus J. And then next we look at vector OM. Vector OM is negative 3I plus 4J. This is step 1 where you need to write the three vectors in terms of I and J. Then, given vector OM equals to HP plus KQ, so you replace the vector P here by I plus 2J, and then you replace the vector Q here by negative 2I plus J. So rearrange the terms, I with I, and then J with J. So we have a H minus 2K, and then for J we have a 2H plus K. Then we use a comparison method. We have a 3 equals to H minus 2K, and then we have a positive 4 equals to 2H plus K. You can solve the equation by using elimination method, but normally I prefer a substitution method. So first I will try to express H in terms of K. So I bring negative 2K to the left. So I get the answer negative 3 plus 2K equals to H. Okay, then substitute H equals to negative 3 plus 2K into the second equation. So we have K equals to 2 times H, which is a negative 3 plus 2K, then plus K. Open the bracket, you will get the answer like this. Again, solve the equation, you will get the answer k equals to 2. So substitute k equals to 2 to find the value of h. So we have h equals to -3 plus 2k. So the answer is 1. The value of h is equals to 1. So that means OM equals to, so h equals to 1. That means 1p. But in SPN, 1 is not written. 1 is not written. And then the k here is 2, which is 2q. So this is the correct answer for to express vector OM in terms of HP plus KQ. Next, I choose from topic system of equation. But I only focus on simultaneous equation, which involve one linear equation and one non-linear equation. So look at this question. Actually, diagram 2 shows the plan of a rectangular garden, PQRS. And then the garden consists of a semicircle pond, PTS. Okay, you try to label the diagram. And then we have the grassy area, which is a PQRST. So SR is 6y. That means PQ also 6y. And then QR is 7x. The value of x is different. Is not equals to y. So the area of the rectangular garden is 168. The area of the rectangular garden is 168. And then the perimeter of the grassy area is 60. And then the pond with a uniform depth contain 15.4 meters cube of water. That means the volume is the volume of the pond is 15.4. So you try to write down all the information given. And then for this question, actually you need to find the depth in meters of water in the pond. Then we have to use the pi given, which is 22/7. So to solve the problems involving the linear, to solve the problems for simultaneous equation, if the equation is given, then it will be quite easy for you to solve. If the equation is not given, so you try to form the two equations. One is linear, one is non-linear, by using all the information given. That's why normally when I read the question, I will try to write down all the information. Okay, then you need to form the equation. So first we have a peak area of PQRS equals to 168. So that means 7x plus 6y is equal to 168. So SY equals to 168, divided by 7 and 6. Then you get the answer 4. Then you need to express y in terms of x or x in terms of y. So if you give the answer x equals to 4/y, can also. Okay, so next, this is the first equation that you form from the information given. Then you need to form another equation. So given the perimeter of the grassy area is 60. So this is a grassy area. So we have 6y plus 6y plus 7x. So you write down 6y plus 6y plus 7x, then plus, this is a semicircle. So we use the formula for circumference of a circle. Because this is a semicircle, so 1/2 times 2 pi r. So we have to use the pi given by the question, which is 22/7. So QR is 7s, That means a PS is also 7s. But this is a diameter. So to find the radius, you need to divide the turns by 2. That's why the radius is a 7s divided by 2. Okay, so solve the problems. Okay, solve the problems. Actually, you will get the answer. You will get the answer 11x. So 6y plus 6y, 12. 7x plus 11x equal to 60. So we have 12y plus 18s equal to 60. Normally, I will simplify the terms. So the answer will be, I divide all the terms by 6. So I get 2y plus 3s equals to 10. This is the second equation. So substitute y equals to 4 over x into the second equation. So we have 2 times 4 over x plus 3s equals to 10. Cancel out the fraction. So I'll multiply all the terms by x. So we have 10x, 3s squared. Okay, so plus positive 8. So rearrange the terms. You get the answer 3s squared minus 10s plus 8 equals to 0. So normally, students will solve the quadratic equation by using calculator. So actually, you will get the answer x equals to 2 and s equals to 4 over 3. So positive, you change to negative. Then negative, you change to positive, you change to negative. Actually, this is wrong. Do you know why? Because actually, when you check the answer, x times x is equals to s squared, but not 3s squared. That's why this is wrong. You need to cancel out the fraction. So how to do this? Okay, you bring 3 in front of x. So it should be written as s minus 2 times 3s minus 4 equals to 0. Then you can check your answer again. X times 3s is equals to 3s squared. Is it the same? Yes. So this is the correct one. And this is the correct way for you to write the product of the two expressions. So don't do like this. This is wrong. Okay, so once you get the value of s, you need to calculate the value of y. So y is given by 4 over x. So 4 divided by x, which is 2, then you get the answer 2. 4 divided by s, then you get the answer 3. So these two answers are rejected just because of the value of s is not equals to y. So we only accept s equals to 4 over 3. Okay, so next, you need to find the depth in meters of the water in the pond. So actually, this is a 3D diagram. This is a 3D diagram. Because this is pond, okay, you need to draw a 3D diagram. Okay. Then you need to find the depth of the pond. Okay, the shape is actually the half of the cylinder. So we will use the formula of cylinder, which is pi r square h. But this is a half of cylinder. That's why we use, you need to multiply the terms by 1 over 2. So we use 1 over 2 times pi r square h. So h is represented by d, which is the depth of the water in the pond. Okay, so r is a 7. Diameter is 7s. So radius is 7s over 2. 7s over 2. Okay, so s is 4 over 3. So you do the calculation, then you get the answer. Radius equals to 14 over 3. So substitute r equals to 14 over 3 into the equation. Okay, then solve the problems. You get the answer. D equals to 0.45. So the depth of the water in the pond is 0.45. So now I show you some of the common mistakes made by the student. Okay, so let's say you solve the problems, then you get the quadratic equation 3s squared minus 9s minus 12 equals to 0. So normally students will solve the quadratic equation by using calculator, and then you get the answer s equals to -4 and s equals to s equals to -1 and +4. So negative you change to positive, positive you change to negative. So you give the answer like this, which is s plus 1 times s minus 4. You try to check your answer, because when s times s, actually the answer is s squared, but not 3s squared. So don't give the answer like this. This is wrong. So how to write the correct product of the two expressions? Okay, you can do like this. I know most of the students will solve the quadratic equation by using calculator. Okay, it's okay. So when you get the answer -1 and 4, so negative you change to positive, positive you change to negative. Then you check your answer. X times s is equals to s squared, which is not 3s squared. So to solve these problems, actually you can put 3 in front of the product of the two expressions. Then you check your answer again. X times x times 3, the answer is 3s squared. So this is correct. Alternative method. Okay, you solve the equation by using a calculator. You get the answer -1 and 4. Okay, so negative you change to positive, positive you change to negative. Okay, so x times x is s squared, which is not equal to 3s squared. That means actually you can simplify the terms 3s squared into s squared. So how to do this? You can divide all the terms. By 3. Divide all the terms by 3. So 3 divided by 3, you get the answer 1. But 1 is not written. So -9 divided by 3, you get the answer -3. Then -12 divided by 3, you get the answer -4. So check your answer again. X times s is s squared. Is it s squared? Yes. Okay. So I show you two correct methods for you to factorize the quadratic equation. But don't do like this. This is always incorrect. And these are the common mistakes made by the student. Okay, I show you one more example. But before this, so always remember that avoid certain mistakes like using a calculator in replacement of concepts. Okay, next, I choose one of the questions in year 2019. Solve the simultaneous equation. So we have s plus 2y equals to 1. And then we have 3 over x minus 2 over y equals to 5. So I noticed that when the equation given is in fraction form, normally students can't find the value of x or y correctly. So how to solve the question that involving a fraction? Okay, actually it is not difficult. So step 1, so look at the equation given. We have s plus 2y equals to 1. So you try to express s in terms of y or y in terms of s. But I choose s in terms of y because no fraction. Okay, so this is equation 1. Then you have to, you try to cancel out the fraction. So how to cancel out the fraction? So given 3 over x minus 2 over y equals to 5. So how to cancel out the fraction? Okay, we do like this. Okay, so we have 3y minus 2x, which is equals to 5sy. Okay, that means the equation can be written as 3y minus 2s equals to 5sy. We do something like cross multiplication. Okay, so now you form the two equations without fraction. So substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So we have a 3y minus 2x. So s is replaced by 1 minus 2y. Then equals to 5xy. So s is 1 minus 2y. So open the bracket, you get the answer 3y minus 2 plus 4y equals to 5y minus 10y squared. So rearrange the terms, you get the answer 10y squared plus 2y minus 2 equals to 0. So if you solve the problems by using calculator, actually you will get the answer y equals to 0.358 and negative 0.558. So positive, you change to negative. Negative, you change to positive. Actually, this is wrong. Please do not write the product of the two expressions that involve a decimal number. If the answer that you obtain from the calculator are decimal number. So don't do like this. This is wrong. So if the answer from the calculators are decimal numbers, so try to use a formula to solve it. The formula is negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Then divide the terms by 2a. Okay, so from 10y squared plus 2y minus 2 equals to 0. Actually, a is 10, b is 2, and then c is a negative 2. So substitute the value of a equals to 10, b equals to 2, and c equals to negative 2 into the formula. Then you will get the answer y equals to 0.358 and negative 0.558. This is the correct way for you to solve the quadratic equation with where the answers are decimal number. So don't do like this. The concept is wrong. So the value of y is 0.358 and negative 0.558. Substitute the value of y into x, which is 1 minus 2y. Then you will get the answer s equals to 0.284 and 2.116. Okay, so next, I choose from the topic differentiation. So what do you understand about differentiation? So when talk about differentiation, we always think about a dy ds. So actually dy ds is known as a gradient of the curve. Dy ds is known as a gradient of tangent. And dy ds is known as a gradient function. So if we use a straight line to represent the gradient, we read the graph from left to right. So if the straight line goes up, that means the gradient is positive, which is greater than 0. If the straight line go down, that means the gradient is negative, which is less than 0. But if the straight line is parallel to the x-axis, so the gradient is equals to 0, because we talked about the gradient just now. And then if the value of d2y ds squared is greater than 0, that means the value is minimum. Less than 0, so maximum. So we will use this concept to solve one of the SPN question. So this is one of the question in SPN 2017, paper 1. So the diagram shows a cubic graph, s power 3, and then a linear graph, straight line. So we have a point A, B, C, and D. So for this question, given point A lies on the straight line. The straight line, if you read the straight line from left to the right, actually the straight line, goes down from the left to the right. That means the gradient is negative, which is less than 0. And then the tangent to the curve at point B and C are parallel to the x-axis. So what is tangent? So actually tangent is a straight line that touch the curve at only one point. So if the tangent to the curve at point B and C are parallel to the x-axis. So you try to draw two straight lines that passes through point B and C, which is parallel to the x-axis. So if the straight line is parallel to the x-axis, that means the gradient is equals to 0. Okay, so for this question, actually you were asked to state which points that satisfy the following condition. So condition A, we have a dy ds equals to 0, which means the gradient is 0. So look at this diagram. We choose point B and point C. Because when you draw the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. Parallel to the x-axis, so gradient equals to 0. So we choose point B and C for question A. Then B is a dy ds less than 0, which means the gradient is negative. So look at this diagram. Gradient equals to negative, so we choose point A. So the answer for part B is point A. Last, d2y ds squared greater than 0. That means the value is minimum. So from the diagram, point C is called the minimum point. So the answer for part C is point C. Next, I choose one of the questions in year 2018, paper 2, also from the topic differentiation. Okay, actually the diagram shows the front view of a part of a roller coaster track in a miniature park. This is the roller coaster track. And then the curve is represented by the equation y equals to 1 over 64 s cubed minus 3 over 16 s squared. And point P is the origin. When talk about origin, actually you can draw two straight lines that passes through point P, okay, which represent the y-axis and also the x-axis. Okay, then for this question, actually you were asked to find the shortest vertical distance. Shortest, that means the minimum value. You need to find the shortest vertical distance from the track to the ground level. So look at this diagram. Actually, this is a ground level. Okay, and then the distance from P to the ground level is 5 meters. Then you need to find the shortest, the minimum value. Okay, from the this is the roller coaster track. Then you need to find the shortest distance from the track to the ground level. That means you should count from the minimum point. Okay, because this is the shortest vertical distance. So that means step 1, you need to find the coordinate of the minimum point. So how to find the coordinate of the minimum point? So always remember that to find the maximum or minimum value by using the concept of dy ds. So step 1, find dy dx. Step 2, dy ds equals to 0. So given the equation of the curve is 1 over 64 s cubed minus 3 over 16 s squared. So we do a differentiation where we need to reduce the power by 1. So 3 becomes 2, 2 becomes 1, but 1 is not written. So give the answer in simplest form. We have 3 over 64 s squared minus 3 over 8x. This is step 1. Then step 2, use dy ds equals to 0. So dy ds equals to 0, that means 3 over 64 s squared minus 3 over 8x equals to 0. So factorize, okay? We use factorization, then you get the answer x times 3 over 64x minus 3 over 8 equals to 0. Solve the problems, then you get the answer s equals to 0 or s equals to positive 8. That means the s coordinate of the minimum point is a positive 8. Because a 1 is 0 and then a 1 is positive 8. But 0 is rejected. 0 is rejected. Because if you count from the origin to the ground level, actually this is not the shortest vertical distance. Okay, so the s coordinate of the minimum point is a positive 8. Then you need to find the y coordinate. So substitute s equals to 8 into the equation. Okay, then you will get the answer y equals to 1 over 64 s cubed minus 3 over 16 8 power 2. Then the answer is negative 4. The answer is negative because the roller coaster track is below the s-axis. That's why the value of y is a negative, which means the distance from the s-axis to the minimum point is 4 meters. So to find the shortest vertical distance, we use 5 minus 4. So which will give you the answer 1. So the answer is 1 meter. Next, I choose from the topic probability distribution. So read the question. A volunteer body organized a first aid course 4 times per month. That means 1 month 4 times. Every Saturday from March until September. So you count from March until September. Actually, we have 7 months altogether. Okay, then Suraya intends to join the course, but he might need to spare a Saturday per month to accompany her mother to hospital. So the probability that Suraya will attend the course each Saturday is 0.8. So 0.8 is the probability that Suraya will attend the course on Saturday. So Suraya will be given a certificate of monthly attendance if she can attend the course at least 3 times a month. At least 3 times means greater or equal to 3. Since 1 month is 4 times, if she can attend the course at least 3 times a month, that means she can attend the course 3 or 4 times. Then only Suraya will be given a certificate of monthly attendance. So question A, you need to find the probability that Suraya will be given the certificate of monthly attendance. So read the question again. Suraya will be given the certificate of monthly attendance if she can attend the course at least 3 times. If she can at least the course 3 times, which is 3 or 4 times. Okay, so the probability that Suraya will attend the course is 0.8. So you do the calculation. Okay, so probability that Suraya will attend the course is 0.8, which means P equals to 0.8. Then Q is 0.2. Because Q is 1 minus P. So at least 3 times means 3 times or 4 times. Because 1 month is only 4 times. Okay, so solve the problems by using calculator. Then you will get the answer 0.8192. So for probability, actually you need to give the answer correct to 4 decimal places. At least 4 decimal places. Because I noticed that when students solve the problems and then they get the answer 0.8192, normally they will do round off. Then they give the answer 0.82. This is incorrect. So for probability, always give the answer correct to at least 4 decimal places. At least 4. Next, we go to B. Suraya will qualify to sit for the first aid test if she obtained more than 5 certificates of monthly attendance. So you need to find the probability that Suraya qualifies to take the first aid test. So just now, you count from March until September, we have 7 months. Because 1 month is only 1 certificate. So if Suraya will qualify to sit for the first aid test, if she obtain more than 5. Okay, since we have 7 months, if she can obtain more than 5 certificates, that means it's either 6 or 7 certificates. Okay, then only Suraya will qualify to take the first aid test. So you need to find the probability that Suraya qualified to take the first aid test. That means she can obtain 6 or 7 certificates. So you need to calculate the probability when S equal to 6 or S equals to 7. So we have 7 months altogether. That's why the N here is 7. Then for P, we should use 0.8192, but not 0.8. Because 0.8 is the probability that Suraya will attend the course each Saturday. But B, you were asked to find the probability that Suraya will qualify to take the first test. So Suraya is qualified if she obtained more than 5 certificates. Okay, so the P here should be the probability for Suraya of getting a certificate, which is 0.8192, but not the probability to attend the course on Saturday, which is 0.8. That's why we use 0.8192. So this is P. So Q is 1 minus P, which is 0.1808. So solve the problems, then you need to give the answer correct to 4 decimal places, which is 0.6301. Next, I choose one more question from probability distribution in year 2019. The diagram shows the normal distribution graph of the time for a school bus to arrive at a school. Then A, you need to find the standard deviation. Okay, so look at this diagram. This is a normal distribution graph, and then the area under the graph will represent the probability, and then the total probability is equal to 1, or in percentage is 100%. And then the normal distribution graph is symmetrical. Okay, then the mean is symmetrical. Okay, the middle is called the mean. So because the graph is symmetrical, that means half is 50%. Okay, so the graph is divided into 4 parts. So first part is 25%. Then the second part is also 25%. Because the graph is symmetrical. So left is 50%, right is also 50%. So here is 25. So the last part is also 25%. So by using the standard normal distribution table, actually standard normal distribution table can read the value of a probability for Z greater than A. So based on this diagram, actually the center here is mean. So the distance between mean and this red line is a 2. So here is a mean plus 2, which means you can form the equation probability for X greater than mean plus 2 is equal to 25%, which is the 0.25. Yeah, because we can read the value of a Z greater. Okay, so this is X, but next you need to convert the S here to Z by using the formula Z equals to X minus mean, then divide the terms by standard deviation. Okay, first you form the equation from the diagram, then you have to convert the S here to Z. Okay, so this is X, so X minus mean, then you divide the terms by standard deviation, which is equals to 25%, which is a 0.25. So mean minus mean cancel out, then we have a 2 over standard deviation. So you read from the standard normal distribution table, then you will get the answer 0.674. So solve the problems, then standard deviation equals to 0.674 divided by 2. Then you get the answer 2.967. Okay, next we go to part B. So part B, the mean time is given. So mean time is 0715. So students are considered late if they arrive after 0720. So Leah takes the bus to the school. So you need to calculate the probability that Leah will be late. So Leah will be late if Leah arrived after 0720. So you need to give the answer correct to 3 significant figures. So how to solve part B? So you need to calculate the probability that Leah will be late. So Leah will be late if Leah arrived after 0720. So that means for part B, you need to calculate the probability when X is greater than 0720. But you need to convert the X here to Z. So X minus mean, then divide the terms by standard deviation from A, okay, which is a 2.967. Solve the problems, you get the answer 1.685. Then you read from the standard normal distribution table. Then you get the answer 0.0460. So for this question, you need to give the answer correct to 3 significant figures, which is stated by the question. And then last question, I also choose from this topic, okay, in year 2019. So look at this diagram. Actually, this is a dot game in a farm fair. So the books offer 3 dots per game. Okay, so 1 game is 3 dots. Okay, all these are called the dot, D-A-R-T. Dot. Okay, so the customer have to pay 5 ringgit to play a game. So 1 game, 3 dots, and 1 game is 5 ringgit. So a toy bear will be given to customer who are able to hit the bullseye. Bullseye is at the center here. This is called bullseye. So a toy bear will be given to customer who are able to hit the bullseye for the 3 dots thrown in a game. So 1 game is 3 dots. If all the 3 dots can hit the bullseye, then a toy bear will be given to the customer. So by average, actually both, because both is a dart player, so by average, both hits the bullseye 7 out of 10 darts thrown. So, A, both will play the game if he had at least 90% chance. At least means greater or equals to 90%. So both will play the game if he has at least 90% chance to win at least one toy bear by spending 30 ringgit. So just now one game is 5 ringgit. If both spend 30 ringgit, so 30 divided by 5, because one game is 5 ringgit, then you will get the answer 6. That means both will play 6 games. So one game 3 darts. If all the 3 darts hits the target, hits the bullseye, so one toy bear will be given. So 6 games, so that means a maximum is 6 toy bear. So both will play the game if he had at least 90% chance to win at least one toy bear by spending 30 ringgit. So by mathematical calculation, you have to suggest to both whether he should play the game or otherwise. That means you need to calculate whether the probability to win at least one toy bear by spending 30 ringgit is greater or equal to 90 or less than 90. Because if the chance is greater or equal to 90, then only we suggest both to play the game. So that means that you need to calculate the probability of C and then see whether the probability is greater or equal to 90. So step 1, you need to calculate the probability of getting a toy bear. So to getting a toy bear, all the 3 darts in one game will hit the bullseye. So by average, actually the both can hit the bullseye 7 out of 10 darts thrown. That means the probability to hit the bullseye is 7 over 10. So P is 7 over 10. So Q is 1 minus P, which is 3 over 10. So to find the probability of getting a toy bear, that means all the 3 darts will hit the bullseye. So do the calculation by using P equals to 7 over 10. Then you get the answer 0.3430. But 0.3430 is the probability to get a toy bear. Then you need to calculate the probability if both has at least 90% chance to win at least one toy bear. So just now both spent 30 ringgit. So 30 divided by 6 is 6 games. That means both play 6 games altogether. So if both play 6 games, that means he can get either 0 toy bear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a maximum of 6 toy bear. So for this question, you need to calculate the probability to win at least 1. So at least 1 means greater or equals to 1. So for this question, actually you need to calculate the probability when S equals to 1. Okay, then S equals to 2, S equals to 3, until S equal to 6. But if you do like this, actually it wastes a lot of time. So because the total probabilities is equal to 1, so actually we can use 1 minus then the probability when S equals to 0, a bit faster. Okay, then for to find the probability to win at least one toy bear, the P here should be the probability of getting a toy bear, which is 0.3430, but not 7 over 10, because the 7 over 10 is the probability for the dart to hit the bullseye. But now you need to calculate the probability to win at least one toy bear. So the P here should be the probability of getting a toy bear, which is a 0.3430. So P is a 0.3430. So Q is a 1 minus P, which is a 0.6570. So do the calculation, then you get the answer 0.9196, which is a 91.96%, which is greater than 90. So that means both should play the game. Okay, and then last, we go to B. So what is the minimum number of games that both need to, what is the minimum number of games that both need so that he can get 4 toy bears? Okay, so that's how you do the calculation. Probability of getting a toy bear is 0.3430. Okay, so to find the minimum number of games, okay, so we use MP equals to 4. Okay, so probability to getting a toy bear is 0.3430. So N times P equals to 4. So N equals to 4 divided by 0.3430. Then you get the answer 11.661, which is nearby 12. So that means that both need to play minimum of 12 games in order to get a 4 toy bears. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, so it doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you can, you do not stop. Also, anything is possible when you believe in yourself. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent presentation, Cikgu Tang Bet Ti. There are many tips and techniques, such as the stickman hands movement for the trigonometric graphs and clear explanation which are easy to remember. Congratulations to Cikgu Tang Bet Ti for a great presentation. We have currently about 600 number of viewers who are watching us online at YouTube and Facebook. Now, we open the floor for the question and answer session, ya, Cikgu Tang Bet Ti. Okay, the first question is from Delvis. Why M1, M2 equals to -1 but not 1? Gradient of perpendicular lines.
Okay, so actually for our syllabus, okay, we just learn how to apply the formula. Actually you can search all the information from the internet, but this is not our syllabus. We just apply, okay? We just apply the formula. Like we have a theorem Pythagoras, okay, then we have the formula for like basic identities and so on. We just learn how to apply first, okay? If you want to further your study or more, you want to learn more about maths, okay, actually you can search all this online. Okay, so thank you.
All right. So it's important for us to apply the formula.
Yes, yes.
Okay. The second question is how to draw the linear graph with best fit much easy.
Okay, this is from the topic linear law. Okay, actually, normally you need to plot the 6 point, right? So just now I told you to draw the line of best fit, the condition is the straight line must pass through at least 3 points. So you have to use the long ruler, which is a transparent. Okay, so you try to adjust because normally actually the line of best fit will not pass through all the plotted point. So you just adjust I told you already, as what I said just now, if not all the plotted points lies on the line of best fit, so make sure the difference is 1. Like we have a 6 point. If 3 points lies on the straight line, so that means another 3 plotted point is not on the straight line. So make sure if we have a 1 above the line of best fit, so that means 2 should be below the line of best fit, or it can be 2 above the line of best fit and then 1 below the line of best fit. It cannot be all the 3 plotted point that not lies on the best fit or above the straight line or all below the straight line. Okay.
All right. I hope that answers the student's question. Another question is on kinematics. Kinematics topic of linear motion will only come out in paper 2 section C.
Okay, if all format, okay, the answer is yes. Because if all format for section C, actually we have 4 questions. Then you need to choose 2 to answer. And normally the 4 questions is from the last 2 topic from Form 4 syllabus, which is index number, so solution of triangle. And if from Form 5, we have a kinematic of linear motion and linear law. But now we have a KSSM, which we have the new syllabus. I don't think, but hopefully still not much different. But I cannot say the topic kinematic of linear motion will only comes out in paper 2 section C. All format, yes.
So it's best to get ready.
Yes.
And from Gladys, she asked, for sketching the trigo graph, can graph paper be used or must use buku jawapan?
Actually, for the new format, we will use buku soalan. That means you have question, then you have enough space for you to write the workings. And then because this one, can use a difference between the sketch and draw is normally if you were asked to draw, so we will use the graph paper. If a sketch, okay, so actually no need. Normally we don't use graph paper. We don't use graph paper, huh? So for sketching the trigonometric graph, that means you must learn how to sketch the graph of sine, cosine, and tangent. Normally, I just draw the x-axis and y-axis, but I don't use graph paper. Actually, no need. Because in SPN, normally they will provide the graph, okay, for linear law and also for linear programming. But if you want extra graph, actually you can ask for the Pengawas. But I think sketch actually no need. We just use graph paper for drawing graph.
All right,
Okay.
so sketching, we just sketch it in the buku jawapan, yes, students?
Okay.
And another question is, for quadratic inequality question, can we convert the negative equation into positive so that it is easier to remember only U-shaped graph?
If you were asked convert, I can't really understand the question. What you mean is if you were asked to sketch the quadratic inequalities question, can we convert the negative equation into positive so that it is easier to remember? Oh, okay. So hopefully I can answer your question, huh? So what you mean is if we were asked to solve the quadratic inequalities, okay, so can we convert the negative equation into positive so that it's easier to remember only the U-shape? Yes. If you were asked to find the range of x or find the range of y and so on, yes. I always ask my students to convert the negative equation to positive. So just remember the U-shape. Okay, if above the x-axis, so the answer will be x less and x greater. If below, that means it's between. Yes, you can do so. Hopefully, I can answer your question. Okay.
All right. Hopefully the student can understand and remember that we can convert negative equation into positive question. Let us look at another question from Arisa. can I give answers directly without showing the calculation in paper 1?
Okay, if you for the all format, we call actually paper 1 is still the subjective question, but we call it objective because the way of marking. But now, okay, paper 1 is also the subjective question. Okay, so we better show the workings. Because now we don't call the journey's item is objective for paper 1. The old format, yes. But now we use a new format. So the journey's item is a subjective. So you better show the workings.
And this is the last question from Anand. Can we use formula that aren't taught in school? If yes, then is there a need to explain the formula?
Actually, you can, can. You can use the formula that is not taught in the school. Yes, can. So even you can apply the formula that you have learned, the formula that we use in Form 6. Okay, because maybe you have a sister or brother. Okay, in Form 6, actually you can apply the Form 6 formula as well. Can.
All right.
Thank you.
That concludes our question and answer session. Cikgu Tang, do you have any advice for our SPM candidates?
Okay, my advice is we have no shortcut, and then we have 5 months, okay, to go for you to sit the SPN 2021. So please work harder for every topics. We have no shortcut actually. You need to do more exercise. Dare to ask your friend, dare to ask your teacher. I have a student who never passed additional maths in Form 4 and also Form 5. Okay, and the math is a 1 digit. But this student never gives up. Until last, this student are able to score A. Not A minus, but A. Okay, so hopefully, okay, you just try, do as many questions as possible. So you will get what you deserve. Okay, so thank you.
All right, students, so don't give up easily. That's our advice from Cikgu Tang. Do a lot of exercise because maths need a lot of practice.
Yes.
Thank you
We
again,
have
Cikgu
5 more
Tang.
months. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, about 5 more months for you all to
Yes.
practice. It's never
Yes.
too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Cikgu Tang. It was a pleasure to have you with us. And can I have the attention of all the teachers and officers from JPN and PPD? Please use the Dilemma ID to access the link or scan the QR code for the attendance and feedback form that will be displayed on your screen and in the chat. As for students, please scan the QR code or click the link in the chat for attendance and receive a digital certificate from Subis District Education Office. Both links will stay active for 30 minutes after the end of the webinar. We would like to thank the organizers, JPN Sarawak and PPD Subis, for this program to help students gear up for their additional mathematics exam. Not forgetting also parents and students for committing your time here with us. Thank you. This concludes the webinar. Thank you all for attending. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this session. Always follow the SOPs, stay safe, take care always. Fly kenyalang fly, fly high.